Hello again. In this video we are looking at one-step equations with multiplication. So if you find your piece that has the steps, let me copy these. Give me just a second here. These are just a hair different. There's no reason to worry. You're going to see much of the same thing that you've seen. Just a little bit of a difference here. So let's look at the example piece, and I'm using, in mine I have colored that in pink, and let me cut as much of that as I can. Not much is gonna go. So okay, here are the rules for multiplying one-step equations. And the example that we're starting with here is negative 5x equals positive 30. Now before we even tackle this, let's take a look at what this is saying, because I know this looks a little bit different. We're used to seeing times signs and things that we're not seeing here. What this is saying is negative 5 times x is 30. So this is a multiplication equation. In algebra we don't use a times sign because that looks like the letter X. So in algebra you write multiplication like this. Remember that negative 5 is called the coefficient, the x is the variable, the 30 is the constant. So let's take a look at what our steps tell us to do. It says to, of course, draw the power t. Decide which side is variable and which side is constant. So this part is not changing at all. We are doing exactly what we've been doing all along. This will never change. It doesn't matter how complicated the equations get. You will still do this process. Step 3 says add a ghost 1 if needed. We do not need it this time. I'll show you some in just a minute where you do. What needs to move? So when you study this and you look at what is on the wrong team, if you want to think of it that way, it's this coefficient. It needs to go over here with the constant side. So what is the inverse of times? It's divide. And here's what you need to do. Draw yourself a division line and bring that negative 5 down. Divide negative 5. Cancel. Copy. Positive 30 divided by negative 5 is negative 6. Those signs are different, so that answer is automatically a negative. So x is negative 6 in standard form. You will always divide that coefficient away. Okay, let's look at your turn. The pink one. And let me see what mine says. 4x equals negative 36. So 4 times x is negative 36. Power t. Where's the variable? What needs to move? The coefficient needs to move, and you have to divide a coefficient away. So we're going to divide both sides by positive 4. You cancel. You copy. Negative 36 divided by positive 4 is negative 9. And you standardize. Okay. All right, let's do some examples. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's the same thing. Let me take this one out because I keep getting confused on that thing. I'll leave the pain scale in there though. All right, so we need to go back to, I'm just picking up here under my subtraction section. You can put yours wherever you want. And these are multiplication equations. Alrighty, let me find mine where I've written them down. Number 1, I have 6a equals 36. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? It's the coefficient. So you divide that coefficient away because division is the opposite of multiplication. You cancel, you copy, and you standardize. Number 2, negative 3m equals positive 9. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient. And you take the negative with it. You don't want to leave the negative there with the m. So we're going to divide by negative 3. I cancel. I copy. I divide that, and then I'm going to standardize. M equals negative 3. Problem 3. 10b equals 100. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient. Cancel, copy, standardize. Number 4, 16 equals 4c. Power t, be careful, where's your variable? What needs to move? The coefficient. Gets divided. Cancel, copy, standardize. Number 5, 32.6 equals 0.2 r. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient. And guys, these are my problems, not from the workbook, so I'm going to tell you to use a calculator here. 32.6 divided by 0.2 is 163. R equals 163. Number 6. 12x equals 108. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient gets divided away. Cancel, copy, standardize. Number 7. Negative 5a equals negative 30. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient gets divided away. You take the negative sign with it. Super important. A and positive 6. Number 8. 45q equals 180. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient gets divided away. Cancel. 180 divided by 45 is 4. Standardize. Number 9. 1.6y equals 4.8. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient. Cancel, copy. 4.8 divided by 1.6 is 3. Y equals 3. And finally, number 10. 9t equals 135. Power t, variable, constant. What needs to move? The coefficient gets divided away. Cancel. Copy. 135 divided by 9 is 15. So T equals 15. And let's bring in our steps one more time just to check those. I'm going to have you to make one small adjustment to your steps because I see now that I did not need one of them. So let me try to grab this. Maybe. Nope. Let me try a different way here. Let's do a screenshot. Once I get my pages all crowded up, it's hard to cut and paste like I want to. So, okay, let me crop this just a hair and I want you to mark out step number 3 because that is not going to be an issue on these. It will be on division. So let's look at these steps for multiplication. And again, I want you just to mark through number 3. We will not need a ghost one with these. And I should have known better than that. I just wasn't paying attention. So number 1, you draw the power t. Number 2, you decide which is the variable and which is the constant. What needs to move? It will always be the coefficient on these. You move that by division. You cancel and copy, and you standardize. And that is how you solve multiplication equations. If you are a 9 or a 10, go on to division. If you're not quite ready to do that, that is okay. You can review this video as many times as you like. But when you're ready, I'll see you in the next video for division equations. Have a